Sunday guys, and welcome to my channel. I've kind of set myself the challenge of filming, like actually sitting down and filming proper videos. Welcome to all you lovely viewers that are watching right now. I hope that you're going to enjoy this video, because I thought I'd share with you for my first video what I've read so far this year and what I'm currently reading. What I'm currently reading, you might be screaming at like at your laptop screens, tablet screens, whatever you're watching on. You'll probably be screaming at your screens like, why has it taken you so long to read this book? You will see. So first up is this monster of a book. It has taken me what feels like forever to read this book. It is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This has been on my classics list to read for probably the past 5 years. I've always wanted to read it. I've always had so many books to read beforehand, because I've always wanted to read this book sort of last on my list because it's such a monster of a book. So I have finally now got round to reading it. I kind of want to read it again, because I feel like, because it's such a big book and sometimes I slip into a bit of a reading funk and I don't read for ages, I kind of want to read it again for that fact that I don't think everything kind of registered in my mind. Like, it registered but didn't register at the same time, if you can sort of understand what I mean. So I do want to read it again. It's based on, I'm just going to read the blurb because it's a bit easier. I'll just take bits out. It depicts Russia's war with Napoleon and its effects on the lives of those caught up in the conflict. He creates some of the most vital and involving characters in literature as he follows the rise and fall of families in St. Petersburg and Moscow, who are linked by their personal and political relationships. So yeah, this is, being as though it's based in a war, some of the scenes, I say scenes, if you have a vivid imagination, like I have quite a vivid imagination when I'm reading, it can be quite, I don't want to say traumatic because I feel like that's a really like dramatic word. When I was reading like certain scenes from like the battles, this is the first book that has ever gave me anxiety when reading it. Like, I was reading the war scenes and they were really giving me anxiety. Like, I could feel myself getting really anxious and it was just so weird. It's the first book that's ever did that to me. But I did really enjoy it, but I'm definitely going to reread it eventually, only because I feel like it didn't really 100% register. So I kind of want to read it again and not leave it so long between reading, because I think that was my mistake. I left such a gap between reading that I think that's why some parts I didn't quite understand, or I forgot who characters were and things like that. So yeah, I finally finished that this year. Once I finished this, I kind of wanted to go on to a smaller book. So I'd gone shopping, I've seen these books, you'll buy one get one half price in Waterstones. Waterstones, you're gonna make me poor one day. Like, I say one day, you make me poor. I cannot go into Waterstones and not pick up a book. It is terrible. I'm like addicted to books. I worked out how many books I have on my bookshelf to read, and I have about 30 books that I need to actually read. A lot of them are series, but I have so many books to read, but I'm slowly making my way through them. So next up, I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Oh my god, this is fantastic. I will just put out there that I did watch the film, and as much as I loved the film, I was slightly disappointed, only because They changed some characters. Now if any of you have read the books, you'll know what I'm on about. They changed some of the characters, and the story didn't quite fit with what I'd read, because I literally read this in like 3 days, and then I went and watched the film. Well, I say went and watched the film. We watched it at home. So yeah. The film I enjoyed, but not so much. But the book, oh my god, this is such a great book. Everybody needs to read this. If you enjoy this kind of story, I don't really know what genre to put it in, to be honest. So I'm not sure, but oh my god, I love this book so much. I can't say too many good things about it. There's so many good things about it. The one thing I love about this book, and I feel like it's very unique compared to my books that are on my bookshelf, I love the fact that throughout the book you have pictures. So I'll just randomly find one. As now I can't find it. Oh, here's one. You basically have a picture, like, or pictures sort of throughout the book. I love that. I find it very unique compared to a lot of books I've seen out there. Like, I've never seen a book, other than when you're a child and you read picture books. I've never seen a book that has like pictures throughout. I loved it. I feel like it really set the story in stone, in the sense of you were reading it and you felt like you knew exactly what the characters looked like, and it just really set the story. I definitely recommend it. It is so good. I absolutely love it, and I just, if I could just read this book over and over and over again, I would read it over and over and over again. It is so good, and I recommend it to anybody. So if you haven't read this book yet, go out and read it. So of course when I finished this book, oh, I will say, if you don't know what the story is about, it would probably be a good idea if I actually told you the story, wouldn't it? Or the plot to the story. It's basically, I don't want to give too much away about it, but it's basically this boy goes looking for this home that his grandfather had grown up in, and he comes across a time loop, which is then, he sort of goes back in time type thing, which I say type thing, he goes back in time, and all the children that are in this home are peculiar, so they have a certain peculiarity about them. So they have like a kind of skill or something that is different, that is their individual skill or peculiarity. So yeah, and there's 3 books in the series, which takes me on to my next book, which is Hollow City. So this is the next one, or book 2 in the series. Again, I started reading this, I'm pretty sure I read this in about 3-4 days. I couldn't put it down. Like, the one day I think I sat down in the morning, I sat down sort of early afternoon to read it and didn't put it down until I went to bed at like 10:30 in the evening, or in the night. Like, I couldn't put it down. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, I seriously recommend these books to everybody. This one, I felt like I said about War and Peace, I do have a very vivid imagination when it comes to reading. So when I'm reading, I can picture everything very clearly. So when I'm reading, oh god, excuse me. When I'm reading, I feel like I'm there. If that makes sense to anybody, I do feel like I'm there. So yeah, very good story. This is a bit more, there's a lot more drama and a lot more action in this one. So there are a lot of like battles and things, but it is so good. The story follows on so well. Again, there are pictures filtered through the book, so you feel like you do know the characters, like you know exactly what they look like, and you actually picture those characters in your mind as you're reading it. So yeah, it's all the same characters, obviously. So yeah, definitely recommend you to read this as well. Then of course when I finished that book, I went on to the third and final one, which is Library of Souls. Again, absolutely fantastic book. I did kind of have a little break in between reading this, only because we'd been away and life gets in the way sometimes, so I just didn't have time to sit down and read it as quickly as I read the other two. But still, I read it quick. Like if you put the time I read it together, I probably took about the same amount of time, but just because of life getting in the way and stuff, I did take a little bit longer to read it. Again, fantastic. Pictures are filtered throughout the book. There's quite a few battles throughout it as well. So yeah, the problem is there's so much I want to say about these books, like the storyline and things like that, or plot line. But I don't want to give it away because I hate giving it away to people that haven't read the books yet. It's the same with films. I don't like giving it away too much because obviously if you're going to go out and watch it, you kind of want to just watch it with fresh eyes. But yeah, so it is really, really good. Like, I don't want to say too much about the character Jacob. I don't actually think I've said his name at all, but the main character is Jacob. Not my cat Jacob, but yeah, his character Jacob. And he finds, like, just the way his character develops throughout the story as well is great. Like, he's not your typical hero of a book, which is good, because I think when you're reading books, you kind of get the same kind of hero or heroine throughout. And sometimes it's nice to read a book where they're not necessarily the hero that you would pick or the heroine you would pick. So I do like that about these books. But all three of them, I definitely recommend any of you to go out and read them because they are absolutely fantastic. And then, so far I've read them this year. It's been 2 months. Well, yeah, 2 months. So yeah, I thought then I would share with you what I am currently reading. Please don't shout at me that it's taken me so long to read it. This has literally been sitting on my bookshelf for months. Maybe even longer than that, because I think it's actually been out a long time. I'm not sure how long this has been out actually, but I am finally getting round to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I know. It's been out a while. Please don't shout at me too much. But yeah, I don't really have any opinions on it yet, only because, like I said, I'm currently reading it. I haven't long started it. I'm enjoying it so far. I kind of wish I was going to see the play, because I'm not actually going to see the play. So I kind of wish I was going to see it, so at least then I can put what I've read into context. Being a big Harry Potter fan, I really hope that the further I get through it that I'm going to really enjoy it. I've seen kind of mixed reviews about it, but still, I want to enjoy it so much because I'm like a really big Harry Potter fan. It is weird to think, I was actually talking about this the other day, or a couple of weeks back, I was talking about it with someone, and it's weird to think that I'm 26 and I started reading the Harry Potter books when I was 8 years old. Like, I can't believe how long ago it was that I started reading them. I mean, I can remember being in my garden in the summers reading it with my friends, and it's just mental to think that it's been going on for so long. But yeah, so I don't really have any opinions on it yet, but I will, once I read it, I will share those opinions with you and see if any of you guys share those opinions. But yeah, so that is what I'm currently reading and what I have read so far this year. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Obviously this is edited so that it's not so long, but I'm actually not sure how long this video is. So I hope this is not too long for you. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this first video. I can't wait to share more videos with you, and I also can't wait to share more videos like this of sharing my opinions on books and things that I've read or I'm currently reading, because I am an absolute bookworm, and why not share my opinions? I mean, I love reading recommendations, I love reading book reviews, I like watching book reviews, because that way then I find new books to read, and a lot of the books I buy are always purely through recommendations, or I go in a shop, I read the blurb on the back of the book, I buy it, I read it, and I end up finding some fantastic, absolutely fantastic books. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for another video. So, bye!